Lady, Ryan here. I've now got the review for you of my airfix 1/72 scale avro vulcan b.2. This kit is a brand new tool kit, and to be honest, when it was released, when they announced it was going to be released in 2019, and of course it went up for sale for pre-order in 2020. Obviously I pre-ordered it. I pre-ordered this kit because I've built the old kit and I'm really looking, and I just knew that this would be a whole much better than the old kit. Um, like I said, um, I'm really looking forward to. I was really so like I say, as soon as this went up for pre-order, I pre-ordered it. Obviously, the actual kit itself was delayed in actually getting here through, obviously, for what's been going on in the last 2 years. So I'll be going. So yeah, I'm going to review this, but before I get into the review, just going to do my usual shout outs. Although, however, I'm not going to include my Facebook shout outs because I actually want to keep the shout outs to short as possible. So, usual shout outs to RTB Models, Lenny, um, Aaron Newland, Atomic Dog 32, Brian, uh, Alex Modeling, Cledo One Lewis, Mars Patrol HQ, Lon 757 Pete, Total Transport, Callum Wilding, the Child Crazy Kit Builder, Crazy Kit Builder, Crazy Modeler, the Child Modeler, UK scale modeler Ian, um, uh, Ramblers 69 Tom, Hamilton, Jag Panzer 94, 1944, Paul Marsh, Engineering Darkside, and Mus Vivi. And I think that's everybody. If obviously if I've forgotten anyone, feel free to mention down in the comments. Failing that, huge thank you to everybody who subscribed to me over the years, because obviously you guys, I couldn't, I suppose what I'm trying to say is thank you to all 359 subscribers. I never thought I'd get this amount of. I never thought I'd never get this amount of subscribers, to be honest. So on with the review. So boxer, lovely boxer, obviously of the Vulcan, peeling and banking away. So you've got the iconic sort of iconic shot of the Vulcan banking away, peeling away and banking with its blue steel nuclear missile. On the top of the box, you've obviously got, hang on, yeah, that way around. On the top of the box, you've got the two color schemes. You've got the camo scheme over you've got the camo scheme over anti-flash white, and then you've got the all over anti-flash white scheme. On the side, you've got another photograph of the box, and then you've just got warning labels in various languages, and the Horby Hobbies trademark. And obviously the Horby European the European authorized representative for Hornby in Italy. And of course you've got the actual when the model was tooled, and when it was packed, and when the model was packed and designed and tooled, which was all in 2020. But of course, because of what happened 2 years ago, it's been obviously didn't come out until 2021, if I remember correctly. It didn't come out last year for obvious reasons. Right. So here's your instructions. Here's your instructions in English, French, and German. Now, so you've got Hornby logo at the bottom. You've got the Hornby logo at the bottom and the best results thing, and the usual blurb about the best results, and please note about some of the parts that being needed. So you've also got it in Spanish and what looks to be Scandinavian or whatever SV is. If some of you guys tell me whatever language SV is, that'd be helpful. So this is a 143 stage step kit. So what I'm now going to do is, for those of you who've been with me, who've subscribed to me for a while, I'm just going to go through the instructions, basically to show if you get a rundown. You get a rundown of the kit in terms of how it goes together, but also it allows, but two things. One, it gives you a rundown of the kit, but also it allows me to pick how far I'll actually build the aircraft before I actually then proceed to do the actually do the first up before I actually do the first update on the model, really. So without further ado, from that point of view, stage one, you can see this very well. Stage one, you put the two structural sidewalls on the bottom of the cockpit floor. Stage two, you put the center console in. With the throttle quadrant. Stage three, you put the rudder pedal in. Stage three, you put the rudder pedals in. Stage four, you put the forward bulkhead in. Stage 5, you put the decal onto the instrument panel and put on the flight control sticks on. Yeah, so you paint and decal up the instrument panel and then put the flight control sticks on. Stage 6, you put the instrument panel in. Stage 7, you start to assemble the ejector seats for the pilot and co-pilot, and then also you put the seats in, the cushions in with the straps on stage 8. So that's your first page of construction. Stage 9, you put the center console. Stage 9, you put the center console decal on and put in the two ejector seats. Stage 10, you put in the side consoles and the fire extinguishers in. Obviously, the side consoles have got side consoles. Stage 11, you put the step. Stage 11, you put the step ladder for the pilot and the co-pilot to climb up to get into their seats. And then, of course, stage 12, you put the electronics officer and the nav radars seat together. And then stage 13, you put the nav plotter's seat, and then of course stage 14 you put the electronics officer's seat in, the nav plotter's seat in, and the nav radar seat in, and then of course stage 15 you put the rear bulkhead in, which is actually the station, all three, which is where all three stations for all three rear crew members would be. However, because of course it's the vulcan, and once you get the canopy on, you won't see any of it. Airfix rather, I think, rather, I suppose, rather made the right decision of not actually including any detail from that point of view. Because I know the Valiant, you get the detail, you get a decal for that rear crew station. I think the Victor, you get some detail on that, but I think it's only the Victor kit you can actually only see the rear detail, and not the obviously the Valiant you can't see because the canopy on the Valiant's a bit like the canopy, similar to the canopy on this thing. So that's the second page, which completes cockpit construction, really. So stage 16, you put in the stage 16 rather ingeniously from this little forward cone, this forward inner cone, and then you put in 40 grams of nose weight, but obviously always, although it recommends 40 grams of nose weight, always go a little bit more. So 112 grams, two 2 ounce, equates to 56, which equates to 56 grams of that, plus two of those equals, obviously two of those is 112 grams. So yeah, and then that, as you obviously once you put the nose weight in, that glues onto the forward bulkhead of the cockpit, and the nose weight compartment then goes into the and then of course stage 18 you put the nose together completely. Stage 21 you put the canopy on, and you choose whichever nose, whether it be nose A or nose B, and there is decal in the canopy. However, I'm not sure if I'm going to be putting it, to be honest, because it is the Vulcan canopy. If any of you guys know Vulcan or have been inside a Vulcan, the decal that goes on the canopy, realistically, you're not going to be seeing it, because once you actually glue the canopy on, it's once you glue the canopy on, it's pretty much no, you're not going to see it, sort of thing. And then the only other thing it just says on, the only thing other you do for stage 20, and in stage 20 you glue on the bottom plate, which has the bomb bay, the bomb aimer's window, even though they never used the bomb aimer's window on the Vulcan ever. And then of course the only other thing it says here is obviously if you're having it with the crew door closed, is to basically file off the two apertures that hold the crew door in the open position. And then this is if you're doing option A, which I am, but with a little bit of difference. So for option A, it says for the A scheme, cut and file away the areas shown in green from parts D30, D3 and D19 below. And then 23, 24, 25 and 26, you are pretty much constructing the bomb bay, which, to be honest, this is where in my opinion, this is where there is a massive improvement on this is where this kit has a massive improvement on the old kit, because of course you do get a full bomb bay, in that you can actually pose the bomb bay open and actually look into the bomb bay and actually see all the structural structural members that make up the bomb bay. But also this has the two the spars, the wing spars, which from a structural point of view makes the construction of the wing of the way Airfix have done this kit. The new tool is a much better than the old tool. Those of you like me who've actually built the old tool will know how much how difficult it was getting the wings to join the wings to join on the old kit without have and chance. Well, to be honest, the old kit just needed tons of filler just for each of the joints. Um, but hope but this is an entirely new kit, so this should go together a lot better. So of course the bomb bay, you start to assemble the bomb bay there on stage 23. So that's stage construction, and then stage 27 you put on the rear spar. Stage 27 you put the rear spar on, and then stage 28 you actually put on the ribs, the ribs, the top, the roof ribs of that make up the ribs that make up the roof of the bomb bay. And then of course stage 28 and 20, stage 29 and stage 30 you put the actual you put the spars, you put the wing spars together. Stage 31, obviously if you're building a kit, obviously like the 8 version A, obviously it's asking you to cut away the areas in green. And obviously, unlike the old kit, you can pose this with wheels up, and rather nice touch from airfix, and you get a one piece wheels, the one piece that just slots in, the one piece that slots in for the wheel doors. For the the one piece that slots in for the wheel doors. So that's stage 20. So that's stage 31, stage 2. Stage 33, obviously, if you're building it with the missile, if you're building it with the A scheme, obviously attach D12 and then miss out stage, and then go straight on to stage 34. Obviously, you're building it with the B scheme with the bomb bay closed. It's pretty much and then put part L7 in, and then go straight to stage 34B on page 2. And then of course, so 34A and B on page 11 is how you put the spars in. It's how you put the spars in with either the blue steel, with either the recess for the blue steel, the recess for the blue steel in, or even with the bomb bay closed. So of course, this is how I'm most going to be doing it. I'm going to be doing it. I'm going to be following the B scheme instructions, but I'm going to be doing it as with the obviously. I'm actually going to be what I'm going to be doing, guys. I'm going to be following the B scheme with the Bombay Open, but do it in the A scheme color scheme. I know that's probably not. I know that's probably not how it's supposed to be built, but that's how I want to build it, if that makes sense. So yeah, spar goes onto the lower half wing on 35, and then 36 you mount the other half of the spar, the other wing, the other lower wing onto this side of the spar, and then of course if you're building it with wheels up, there's a one piece that slots in into the nose gear bay. So stage 38, you assemble the nose gear bay. Stage 38, you assemble the nose gear bay. Stage 39, you put the nose gear bay in. Stage 40, you assemble the stage 40. You start stage 40 and 41. You assemble the port side undercarriage, main undercarriage bay, and then stage 42 you put that into the port side of the wing. Stage 43 and 44 you assemble the starboard undercarriage bay and put that into the starboard side of the wing. And then, of course, this is another area that caused issues on the old kit. Obviously, you assemble the air intakes. For stage, for color scheme A, it's saying about putting in the bottom, the making up a template for the top and bottom. But of course, it's also reminding you to paint the air intake tunnels below the upper surface and uh, bottom surface behind the upper surface camo and lower surface camo to put in the to just paint it in satin white. And then the B scheme, it's pretty much all over satin white. And then of course you put in the compressor blades. You put in the compressor blades, and then of course you put in, and then of course optionally if you want to, you can put in the FOD covers, which is a nice touch from airfix, because the old kit you didn't actually get the FOD covers, but this kit you do. So lovely touch from airfix. And then stage 40, not stage 48 and 49, you put in the, obviously you put in the air intakes on both sides. You put in the air intakes in, and then you put the air intakes in, and then you put the landing lights in on stage 50 and stage 51. Stage 52, you actually assemble the top wing together. So obviously test fit. Obviously, all I will recommend is you guys that test fit it multiple times before actually gluing it to get it spot on. And then obviously the only other thing I would recommend is probably glue it in sections so that you guys can actually get a solid join. And then stage 53, you actually assemble, you put the bottom wing, the assembled bottom wing onto the top wing. And then of course stage 54, you put the nose cone, the nose section onto the wing. And then of course you put in the little fillets that go at the very edges of the air intakes, both sides. Stage 57, you assemble the tail cone. And then stage 59, you start to assemble the port side exhaust jet exhaust nozzles for the port side engines. Stage 60, you put in a template to help line up the port exhaust nozzles on stage. And then so you put the port exhaust nozzles on stages 51, on stages 61, and then 62, same procedure. 63, you put the final set of compressor blades into the exhaust tubes. And of course it reminds you to dig a 1mm hole out there. You put those, and then you put the exhaust tubes, you put the completed exhaust and final stage of rear compressor blades in, engine nozzles going on. And then of course you've got, so stage 66, it's the same procedure for the starboard set of nozzles. So stage 66, you assemble the starboard nozzles. And then of course you put you put the jig in again. You put the starboard jig, the starboard jig in, and then of course you put the sort of like the outer piece for the exhaust nozzles on stage 68 and 69. Stage 70, same for the rear compressor blades for engines 3 and 4, and the exhaust and the jet pipe exhaust tunnels. Again, they go onto the airframe at stage 70. Stage 72, you assemble the completed jet pipes onto stage 60. 70 onto the airframe. Stage 73, you assemble the intake, the cooling intakes for each of the engines. The external cooling intakes for each of the engines are on the port side and starboard sides. And then, of course, if you're doing a scheme, you put parts F33 and F36 together. Same with F76. If you're doing B scheme, you just do that one. Obviously, stage 77, you put the F38 and F39 on. Stage 78, you put on you put that completed sub-assembly there onto there. Stage 76, you put that. Stage 79, you put those. You do the same procedure that you did in stage 77, and then you put on sub-assembly 76 onto the Vulcan in stage 80. Stage 97, you put the port side rear undercarriage door, and then assemble the 8 wheels for the eight all 8 wheel. You assemble all 8 wheels for the port side undercarriage leg, and then you assemble from stage 89. From stage 99, you start to assemble the undercarriage leg. You carry on assembling the undercarriage leg in stage 100. Stage 101, you continue to you add a bit more to the undercarriage leg. Stage 102, you actually put the wheels onto the undercarriage leg, and then stage 103, you assemble the undercarriage leg into the airframe, and then you put the support bracket in on stage 104. Rinse and repeat for stage 105 to 111 for on the starboard side. Stage 110, stage 112 and 114, 113 and 100 stages 113 and 112, 112 and 113. You assemble you put on the wheel doors, port and starboard wheel doors. And from stages 114 to 117, you assemble the nose gear. 118, you mount the nose gear into the nose gear bay, and then of course you put the nose gear doors on 100 stages 120, 119 to 120, 118. You actually assemble the nose gear in. You assemble the nose gear in. You assemble the nose gear in. 119 to 121, you actually assemble the nose gear doors. Stage 122 and 124, from stages 122 to 124, you assemble the 21,000-pound bomb load if you're doing option B, or if you're doing option A, with both loads. So you can see so you guys can see what loads, or the two bomb loads that the Vulcan could carry. Stage 25, you assemble 120. You put all 3 racks of all racks 121 the 21,000-pound bomb load into the bomb bay. If you're doing the bomb, obviously there's the 2, and then you start to assemble the bomb doors in the open position. So that's, and then bomb bay doors going in the open position, and then nice touch with airfix. You can either pose the aircraft with the air brakes closed or open. If you're doing option A, obviously you then assemble the blue steel missile, and then you assemble the blue steel missile, and then you assemble the blue steel missile. And then mount it to the airframe. And then finally and then the final stage is really you add the lights. You add the you add the light you add the light in, you add the light on, you put the light on, and then um you put the light on, you put on the light, you put the light on. If you're doing B scheme, you put that fitting on, and then 137, 138, you put the crew door in the open position on, crew door going in on hundreds on stage 139, and then 140, stage 140, you've got a load of pitot tubes going in, on the bottom aircraft surface. Obviously 141, stage 141, you can assemble again, you can put the air brakes in open or closed, in the closed position, open or closed positions. 142, you put on a load more air drones, and then if you're doing the A scheme, you put the pitot tube, the air to air refueling probe in in the open position. Right. Um, so, and of course you've got your stencil data sheet for the you've got the stencil data sheet for both schemes. And then you've got here's your two color schemes. So you can either do it as the A scheme, which is a Vulcan Scampton, which is avro Vulcan b.2 of the Scampton wing, number 27, 83 and 6.7 Squadron, Royal Air Force Scampton in Lincolnshire, England, 1966. Aircraft is currently preserved. The aircraft currently preserved at the Newark Air Museum. Or you can do it as a Vulcan of number 12 Squadron RF Coningsby in England, here in England in 1963. No section is now preserved at the Avro Heritage Museum. Okay, so let's get into this then, shall we? So, first sprue, suppose really, camera pickup, buddy, very much. First sprue of the day is these are your top wings. So obviously all the power line detail is recessed. You've got a mixture of raised and recessed detail, but the recessed detail is nicely done. I don't know how well you're getting the camera. The recessed detail is nicely done. The recessed detail is nicely done, both on both sides of the bottom wing, top wing, and then obviously you've got the Bombay detail. Bottom half of the wings now. Again, you've got this. You've got detail. You've got a mixture of raised and recessed detail. Again, nicely done. Not nicely done in that it's not overdone, but it's not underdone. So here, guys, we've got a sprue of 2 halves. You've got the, obviously, on this side you've got the on this side you've got the nose sections for the bomb. You've got the nose section for the aircraft. You've got the container for the nose weight. You've got the cockpit, the structural sidewall. You've got the sort of the structural members for the cockpit. Here you've got the cockpit floor. You've got the bottom, the actual plate that makes up the bottom of the aircraft. You've got the two nose halves, instrument panel. And you've also got 3 choices of nose fitting. So I suspect there's going to be I suspect airfix is going to do a kit and redo this and do it as the option with the terrain following radar on it, or just the terrain following radar but without the probe, or as I'm going to be doing it with just the probe, with the refueling probe without the terrain following radar. Side consoles, crew ladder, parts 13, 8, 13 and 13. It's got no idea what they're for. Stage 14, which I think is the bottom. Actually, these are the bottom of the seats. Part 13 is the bottom of the AEOs and the navigator seat. Same with stage 14. You've got the oxygen bottles on parts 23, 24. The oxygen bottles, flight control sticks, pilot seat halves, rear bulkhead, front bulkhead, and then you've got parts for the bomb bay here. You've got bomb bay part. You've got bomb bay on this side. So you've got the bombs. You've got the bombs there, and and bomb bay doors in opened and closed positions. So yeah, so that's it on the inside, and that's it from the outside. So this sprue we've got. So this sprue we've got parts for the we've got parts for the we've got parts we've got flight controls. So you've got the vertical stabilizer and the vertical stabilizer, the rudder, and the um, the vertical stabilizer, and the rudder, and the ailerons. And you've got parts here for the I think you've got the wheel doors here as well. I'm actually thinking about it. The ailerons as well. You got the electronic countermeasure plates here on the aircraft. The detail on the detail on these parts in terms of the panel line detail, particularly on the vertical stabilizer, the rudder, and uh, the ailerons, is nicely done. It's not over. It's nicely done, not overdone. So just give a quick look at that. And then here, of course, you've got here you've got parts for the undercarriage. Got parts here for the undercarriage on one side, including the crew door and the entrance and the crew door and the crew ladder. On the other, you've got parts for the intakes. You've got parts for the intakes and the engine nozzles and the tail there. And then here you've got parts for the air brakes and the air brakes and the engine and the FOD covers. Air brakes in the opened and closed positions and FOD covers and various other pitot tubes and aerials that go on the aircraft. And then here you've got parts for the intakes. You've got bomb, but you've got, of course, here you've got parts for the engines. The engines, the intakes, parts for bomb bay, parts for bomb. You've got parts here for the bomb bay, the engines, the intakes, and the intakes and the engines, and the spars, structural spars on the aircraft. And then here you've got the blue steel parts. Here you got the parts for blue steel. Here you got parts for blue. Here you got parts for blue steel. For the blue steel missiles, which again it's nicely done. It's not overdone, so yeah, really nice touch. Then lastly, well, before the decals, clear parts. So clear parts are nicely done. So you've got your canopy. You've got the canopy. You've got the canopy, the bomb aimer's window, the landing lights, and you've got the bomb aimer, the landing lights, and the clear part, the bomb aimer's window, the bomb aimer's window, the landing lights, and the two quarter light and the two lights go on either side of the bomb aimer of the bomb aim the bomb aimers the bomb aimer that goes the bomb aimer the nav radar's window, the AEO's window. So yeah, I'm gonna call quickly because I'm running out of time because I'm going out shortly, which is why the review is somewhat hurried, I suppose. You got your decals. the decals there. So your decals, your decals. Obviously, you got your decals for the Samsung wing and the 12 Squadron aircraft. This will get all back later, in a minute shortly. Finally, one last look at the clear parts. So yeah, that was my review of the Vulcan. Really, I didn't want to make this too long, so forgive me if I speeded it up towards the end of the video. But yeah, thoroughly looking forward to building. Thoroughly looking forward to building this. Thoroughly looking forward to building this. So, as always, don't know when the first update's going to be, but obviously, as soon as I get the first update for you, I will bring it to you. So until then, happy modelling. Hope you enjoyed the review. Take care, and I'll see you guys soon. All I will say, all I am going to say though, guys, is obviously apologies for the audio issues on my last video. I hope they're a whole lot better this video. If they're not, then obviously I will look into getting a different microphone, because obviously the only microphone I've got is the one in my laptop. Okay, so yeah, that's been my review of the Vulcan. Hope you enjoyed. You guys on the first update. All right, bye.